Packing art supplies for travel can be tricky. You want to bring enough to feel creatively free, but not so much that you're carrying around an entire art supply store. Let's walk through my process of choosing what to bring, how I pack my travel art kit, and some tips for making the most of your creative time on the go. Let's dive in. Now let's talk about making the tough choices. If I could, I'd bring my entire art studio, but that's not exactly practical. Instead, I'm asking myself the following questions. First, I need to be very honest with myself. How likely is it that I'm even gonna want to make art? I noticed that when I travel for less than a week, or with friends and family, I'm not really in the mood of grabbing my sketchbook. The amount of times I packed a whole lot of art supplies just to not use them at all is ridiculous. But I've learned my lesson and become quite good at guessing whether or not I'll be in the mood of making art at all. For example, when I travel solo, I'm always in the mood. And I'm glad to have a selection of art supplies to choose from. The next question: what medium do I actually enjoy using on the go? Traveling isn't the best time to experiment with new art supplies, that's for sure. So I'm choosing materials that are familiar and I know I can make work for me. Question 3. What kind of art will I be making? Do I want to go plein air painting in the nature or urban sketching in the city? Then a watercolor sketchbook, a small palette, a water brush and some ink will be a good setup. Or do I want to be sketching in cafes, in museums or on the plane? Then I'd go even more minimal, with a small sketchbook, a ballpoint pen like this. This has multiple colors, and maybe a pencil. This one is a mechanical pencil, so I don't even need to bring a sharpener, and it also has an eraser included. Or maybe I know I'll be relaxing a lot at my B&B. Then I would bring a few more art materials, since I'll be having the time and space to use them. Another question: what's practical for the destination? If it's hot and humid, some pens might smudge. Or if I'll be sketching outdoors a lot, I need quick drying materials. And lastly, how much setup and cleanup does it need? I love acrylics, but they're not ideal for travel, right? Watercolors, on the other hand, are perfect. Light, compact and easy to clean up. Now let's talk about what I'm packing for my upcoming trip. I will be traveling solo for quite some time, and I'll not only have my hand luggage, but also checked luggage. So I think I'm cleared to bring a bit more. But still, I want to keep it compact. I have a few options. This pouch was gifted to me by a friend a few months ago, and it has a lot of different compartments and pockets. Like, there's a lot of options, I think. But I also like to use zip pouches like these. And of course I want to bring my own handmade pencil case with me. Now let's lay out the art supplies I want to take with me first. We'll start with sketchbooks. I usually bring two, a small one for quick sketches and a slightly larger watercolor one for urban sketching and plein air paintings. I will try to see if I can stuff my large mixed media sketchbook in my bag, but that is optional, really. Keep it simple. Let's take a look inside my pencil case. I once kept a sharpener with charcoal shavings in this pencil case. I would not recommend doing that. All my pens are ugly now. Oh no. Now, I won't need all of this, but let's have a look. What I will take is a mechanical pencil, then a regular graphite pencil for shading, and my trusted kneaded eraser. And also I'm not bothering with a sharpener just for this one pencil. Now, inks and pens. Of course, waterproof fine liners for line work, and it's always good to have a few more at hand. I never know which one of these is running low on ink. But I don't need all of them. So this micron is 0.1. What do we have here? I don't need multiple of the same sizes, that's for sure. Let's have a look. Maybe this one. And I think I have a really fine one. Like this. This is 0.03. I'm taking it. 0.5 maybe. But you know what? I will be changing this for this because I like the Copics more. Then I'll take this fountain pen with waterproof ink and a white Posca pen for highlights. But to be honest, you never can have enough white pens. Yeah. Then this multicolored ballpoint pen I just told you about because it's really versatile. Now, will I need gold and silver pens? I don't think so. I also don't really need more pencils, more white pens. Maybe I'll bring this one, this Posca fine liner, and in those go. So we have narrowed it down quite a bit. But I also really want to take those Muji ballpoint pens just because they are really fun. Maybe I'll stick with the blue and red ones. And those can stay here. Now I'll pack all of those in here and we're good to go. Like this. Nice and compact. Now that it's not so overstuffed anymore and we're good to go with the dry materials. Now for painting supplies. I want to bring watercolors because they are just made for travel. And I could prepare this small watercolor palette if I found out that this one was too big for my kit. Then I would pick the essential colors, which are mostly the ones down here, and put them in here. But I believe that it won't be necessary and I can just bring this palette. Another thing I could do, of course, is taking this one out and putting a water brush in here. So then I have a very minimal watercolor setup as well. I couldn't do that with this palette. But of course, since I also have my pencil case, I could also put the water brush in here. I think I'm also taking two just so I can add a little bit more speed to the painting process. So example, if I'm painting with a warm yellow color in this brush and I want to add a cool blue or greenish color, I can just use this brush without having to get rid of the color that's on here. Yeah, so let's quickly do that. Put them in here. We have lots of space in here. And then this. So this would be my minimal setup. That doesn't take up too much space, but also gives me a lot of variety to make the art I want. But since I'm luckily having a bit more space, I'll pick some more. Let me see if I can fit all those things in here. I think I would carry this one separately. I can bring a little bit more. And we'll do that now. First, some gouache, like these, but then also these. I know I want to take those since I'll be at my apartment a lot, so I'm bringing a few. I don't think I need all. I could pick the primary colors, maybe the scarlet, a nice ultramarine blue, lemon yellow, of course black and white, and maybe a trusted burnt umber. That would be a nice minimal collection that lets me mix almost any color I need, while also not taking up too much space. But let me be honest, I might bring a few more, if the space allows it. Of course, I'll also need some brushes to paint with, and this set has proven itself many times. So let's have a look. This brush can stay at home because I never use it. But these are very versatile and fun to use. So that's that. Now for mixing palettes. At first I wanted to say that I won't bring my Stay Wet palette, since I could just be using a plate or similar things I found around my apartment for mixing my colors. But then I thought about storing my gouache paints and the brushes in the palette. Let's try that out. So I would put all the brushes in here. I have a new sponge and some spare sheets in here. And then I would be putting the paints in. Could even pack 2 more colors, but for now that's enough. Like this. This gives me one compact container with all my gouache supplies. Perfect. You should always consider if you could be needing a mixing palette as well as a water container, which I won't need to bring with me, but just don't forget about it. Another nice thing to have is, of course, a small roll of washi tape and some clips to pin down pages or to tape off paintings. You could bring a small rag or paper towels, but only if you don't have the chance to grab one at your destination. Yeah. Now that I've chosen my supplies, it's time to pack smart. So let's see what I gathered. I have already packed this one here, and now I have this and this. Maybe those could also go in here. Let's see. Well, I could make it work, but no, I don't want it like this. So I could maybe have it like this, and then the washi tape can just go in here. This will be a compact travel kit that I know I can fit into my luggage. Now I tried packing my supplies in here because this pouch is a tiny bit bigger than this one. So with this way I would only have to carry around those 2 pouches, which is nice. I have all those in here. Like this. But I like how you can see through this one to actually have at a glance what you have with you. And I'm thinking about separating the 2. So that in this bag here, so this will be my minimal art kit I'll take on the go. And then I can also use this one here to put a few more things that are optional. So this would take this, and then I could also take some additional watercolor brushes or fill this thing up with more gouache colors. So I will have those 3 pouches, which is still pretty good, I think. To be honest, I think I will be having way more space than that. So it's probable that I will also take this sketchbook and maybe just all of those colors as well. Now, packing the right supplies is one thing, but actually using them while traveling is another. So here are a few things I've learned over time. Number 1, keep your kit accessible. If you pack your art supplies too deep in your luggage, you might never use them. For example, if I want to be sketching at the airport or even on the plane, I'll make sure to keep my sketchbook and pens close by and on the top of my bag, so I can just easily grab them and get going. Another tip I'm always using when making travel sketches is, let me have a look, sketch first, paint later. So I always go in and make the ink drawing first and then go in later with watercolors. If I don't have time for a full painting session, I do quick sketches and maybe ink outlines and add color when I get back home to my apartment or hotel, whatever. Also, I often paint from photos I took and not really on location, as I did here, for example. And also, give yourself permission to create imperfectly. Travel sketchbooks aren't about making masterpieces. They are about capturing memories, moods, and little details that inspire you. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I'd love to hear what are your must-have travel art supplies. Let me know in the comments. I hope this was at all a little bit helpful for you. I'm really excited to take you along my trip. I have some video ideas lined up, and yeah, I'll talk to you again when I'm there. So excited. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!